Yes, hello. Very good evening, everyone, and welcome to the School of Health Sciences live talk. So we'll spend the next hour to explore on how medical biotech will drive the future of healthcare. So I'm Dr. Yenny, your moderator for this evening. Together with me, we have Dr. Adam, who will be sharing his MB journey at IMU with us today. So Dr. Adam is actually a lecturer for the Medical Biotechnology program. He is also the IMU alumni. Then, of course, not forgetting Miss Maisara. Okay, she's an exec from the MEO Marketing and Enrollment Office. Yeah, so Maisara will be assisting us this evening, including managing the Q&A and also the logistics. Okay, thank you, Maisara. Yeah. So let's look into the housekeeping rules. So before we proceed to the webinar, okay, I would like to share the housekeeping rules here. Just to minimize the interruption, okay, we have actually muted the microphone for all the attendees. Questions and feedback, please use the Q&A panel. And this live webinar will be recorded and the recording will then be shared to the IMU YouTube. Okay. Yeah. So to me, besides being the moderator, I'm also the current program director. So I would like to take this opportunity to share a bit about what biotechnology is and how our program is designed to support the students in terms of their academic journey and also the future career pathway. A very quick introduction about myself. I have a PhD focusing on multi-omics and complementary medicine targeting the medicinal fungi. I've also worked at ANU Australia and Nanyang Technology University Singapore on research related on natural products and breast cancer. So due to some technical glitch okay, from my side, I'm actually getting help from Dr. Adams to advance the slides during the presentation. So thank you so much, Dr. Adam. Okay, so yes, let's start. First thing first, what is exactly biotechnology? Okay, so by definition, biotechnology actually means using living organisms, systems, or processes to develop products that improve the living beings. Okay, so at the core of biotechnology, we actually ask these key questions. What can we do to fix the real world problem? Okay, so biotechnology is actually very broad. Okay, it has several areas ranging from industrial, agriculture, marine, of course, not forgetting medical, which is the program that we are offering in IMU. Okay, so medical biotechnology basically focus on improving the human health and medicine, okay, through innovations. So some key areas that students will be exposed to will include, but not limited to, gene therapy, personalized medicine, vaccine diagnostics, okay, as well as like regenerative medicine like stem cells. All right. Okay, so next, please allow me to just share our program journey. Okay, so this program basically started in 2008, okay, which is our inaugural intake. Okay, we first named ourselves actually as a Bachelor of Science Honors Medical Biotechnology. And later on, we received our accreditation from NQA and MBOT. Okay, so MBOT is actually a recognized professional body. Okay, they register and recognize professional technologies, certified technicians in various technology fields. So all in all is to aim to elevate the status of the technologies. Okay, so I have to tell you that our staff, okay, who are teaching into this program, most of us already received our accreditation, and all of us are actually registered under MBOT. Okay, so for this 2026, basically we will be doing our new cycle accreditation, and to date, the program has been has been established for 18 years. So with 16 cohorts of students actually graduated. Okay, so next, let's look into the program duration. Okay, so this is a single major full-time conventional program by coursework, total of 3 years, 3 year of an honors program. So basically, the one advantage of having an honors degree is that it includes a very strong research component, basically in our SEM 5, okay, that makes the training more in-depth, and our graduates eventually will be more competitive and job ready. So it's also better prepares our students for like postgraduate studies, like a master's or PhD. Okay, so Of course, next, we also have our program also have partnership with overseas universities. For instance, the University of Newcastle for the credit transfer pathway, in which students will need to do the first 3 semesters in IMU and subsequent 2 years at Newcastle to earn their degree Bachelor in Biotechnology. Okay, we also offer various progression pathways under the partnership with Strathclyde, Dundee, as well as the MedTech Innovation and Entrepreneurship Master of Science. Okay, yeah, next. So in our program, we actually adopted various teaching and learning methods, which you can see from the list here. And let's focus on the photo on your right. Okay, so basically, our students, okay, they visited a place called Cell Agritech. Basically, it's a lab meat cultivation company which is based in Penang. Okay, under the model bioprocess technology. So this is a model in semester 4, and bioprocess technology is actually about how we scale biology into real world products. So definitely in this case will be like lab grown meat, others will be like vaccines from viruses, biologics, as well as fermented foods like yogurt, wine. Okay. Next, then of course we also incorporate various student-centered learning approaches lah. It's like problem-based learning, PBL, case studies, okay, which most of the time is carried out through a group discussion, okay. Then of course, taking example, we also have a please refer to the picture at the top right, okay, which shows a simulated crime scene, okay, conducted during our forensic science model. So where students will actually apply their knowledge in a more interactive way. Okay, so this activity, okay, the simulated crime scene also includes peer assessment, which helps to develop teamwork and critical evaluation skills. Other than that, we have supplementary materials through micro-learning videos. All in all is to allow our students to revisit the key concepts at their own pace. Okay, yeah, next. So of course, we also actively engage with overseas academic partners, industry, to provide students with broader exposure and real-world insights. So the top 2 photos here, okay, we actually invited faculties from the US and also Newcastle University to deliver guest lectures on specific topics from the molecular medicine model. Of course, we also organize our annual industry advisory board student forum. Okay, this is also a forum that ties up with the model business management model, where industry partners are invited to share insights through some thematic talks for that year. Okay, so every year we will have a different team where we will share with our plenary speakers, and they will talk about it. Okay, which will be very relevant to our students. Okay, and last but not least, okay, of course, we also emphasize a lot on practical training, okay, because this is a very hands-on program. So students will gain the experience of doing things in the lab, okay, along the theoretical knowledge or foundations that they form eventually, right? So next slide, I will talk about the program structure. Basically, our program structure, we have 2 intakes per year, one in July, another one in September. So any students who join us in July this year, basically they will start with the MPU short semesters, and then semester 1, and then subsequently to semester 6. Those who join us in September, they will start with semester 1, and then towards the end, after semester 6, they will have to come back for the MPU short semesters, okay, as shown in this slide here. All right. So you will see that our program actually covers a wide range of subjects centered around biosciences as well as bioinformatics. Okay. Maybe the next slides also. Okay. Yeah. So some of the models are basically like bioinformatics, bioprocessing technologies, omics, and etc. I believe later Dr. Adam will be sharing more details about some of these models later. Okay, but some that I would like to highlight will include like those models in short semester 1. Okay, like current trend in medical biotechnology, research methodology. So basically, current trend model is a model where students will be required to write a review article. Okay, research methodology actually is the research proposal that will ties up with the intended research projects that the students going to do in semester 5. Okay, so you will see our curriculum is designed in a spiral way. Okay, so we start small with uh, exposing students to all the theoretical knowledge first, and slowly we will add in more and more research or practical hands-on component. Okay, so in semester 6, okay, students will also undergo a very internship for 24 weeks. So it may seem long, okay, 24 weeks, which equivalent to 6 months, but actually this will allow students to have a proper training and meaningful involvement in like any real projects from the company. So I have to say that by having a long internship like this, okay, it also increased the opportunities for our students to build the strong connections and potentially transition into employment. Okay, so next, I actually show some photos. Yeah, of our students, okay, which in turn overseas, because besides local, okay, where students can actually intern to research and development, quality control, bioinfo, manufacturing, bioprocess, and etc. Okay, some of our students also intern abroad, okay, but mainly on research universities and institutions. Okay, so we do have students actually completed their training abroad in countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, Germany, and New Zealand. Okay, yeah. So next year, I just show everyone here, okay, the global internship footprint, okay, where our students has interned outside of Malaysia. So we do have more students actually intern in countries like Singapore, Taiwan, and Australia, about 30%, okay, and less in other countries, just for your information, right? Yeah, so next, so this is graduate training program is actually one of IMU's key strength, okay, where we have industry partners actually collaborate with us to offer internships and potential employment opportunities to our students as well, right? So we currently, in our program alone, we have 16 partners across various sectors, such as cell agriculture, like cell agritech that develop or culturing the lab meat. Okay, we also have cryocort, which play key players in biobanking and regenerative medicine. Companies like Greencom, Good Morning, they are involved in like food tech, as well as some pharmaceuticals, diagnostics, or lab solutions like Appendorf, Sepasol, Neuroscience, and etc. Okay, so since the launching of this GTP, okay, we actually have a very good outcomes now, okay, where our students indeed secure the industry placement together with the employment, right? Yeah, so the next slide. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we have the model called current trend, where our students are required to write legal articles, okay, and which is also part of like their research training. So besides conducting the research project, so here I show you some examples of publications from our students, okay, and putting aside, we also actively encourage our students to attend and present at conferences, giving them valuable exposure, okay, and also the opportunities to showcase their research findings, right? So last but not least, okay, of course, about what medical biotechnologists can do is definitely one of the crucial part of my talk for today. Okay, so as you may already know, biotech is actually a very vast industry. Okay, you can actually find them in various fields, and it's actually part of our daily life as well, if you realize. So our program may not be a very specific program like you did a pharmacy, you became a pharmacist, but the job scopes, the work scope is actually quite varied within the biotech fields, okay? So if you look here, students can actually venture into academia and teaching, okay? Of course, this will require a bit of a postgraduate training, okay? Or quality control assurance officer is actually someone who ensure the products are safe, meeting the proper standards, okay, and to check for errors. follow rules, keeping the good records. Then we also have job titles that our alumni is actually holding, okay, like regulatory affairs specialist, where they will ensure the products get approval from the authorities, okay. Others like scientist, researcher, bioinformation, data analyst, okay. So these are very, very research oriented job titles, okay. Others will include product specialist, manager, okay, or clinical research associate, and medical science liaison. Okay, so maybe I would like to highlight a bit on this CIA and MSL. Basically, CIA are someone who actually oversees the clinical trials, or like to test the new drug safely. So one of our GDP companies, I mean our GDP partners, okay, CSI Medical Research, they are the clinical trial company, and they do offer intern position, okay, in this CIA, right? So meanwhile, MSL is actually someone who share or write medical informations, right? And most of the time, they will also someone who tends to collect feedback from companies, okay, and disseminate the information to the public, right? So next year you will see where our alumni actually work, okay. So we will see them actually in research institutions, universities, some startups doing startups, some government link agencies, okay, pharmaceuticals, biotech companies, like what I showed earlier, okay, our GDP partners. So those are actually biotech oriented companies, okay. So medical device companies as well, and okay, hospitals and clinical labs. So it is a misconception that MB graduates cannot work in hospitals, because this is due to the MHPC regulations. While yes, it's kind of true where certain clinical roles like doctors, licensed medical lab technologies, they require specific certification. Okay. However, there are still other roles, okay, which allow our graduates actually to have to work. I mean, like to deal with hospitals, okay. So this will include like what I mentioned earlier, like CSL, okay, or like clinical application specialists, okay, and medical claims assessor. So of course, in fact, biotechnology graduates are also highly sought after internationally, okay. So definitely biotech offer a very strong global career opportunities, right? So also please allow me to share the next slide, okay, on the market survey analysis. So this is done just earlier of this year, from January to February, where we actually shared a market survey to our industry partners as well as prospective students. So just a bit of the outcome of the survey, okay, according yeah. So this is feedback that we received from our industrial partners as well as any stakeholders, okay, that belongs to the biotech companies, I mean like biotech industries, okay. So you will see that there are basically 76% of the companies, okay, or the respondents actually state that their intent to hire biotech graduates is actually there, okay. And 24 is like maybe, okay, but there's none that indicated no, all right. And the factors, or I mean the sectors that they will highly absorb the biotech graduates will involve pharmaceutical and biotech, pharmaceutical, biotech industry, R&D, academic teaching, entrepreneurship, and also regulatory and quality assurance. All right. So next year we also showed the how they actually, how much they actually recommend the program. Okay, so respondents from the biotech related industries, the majority of them actually shows that they are very, very likely, okay, like very likely and likely, okay, that they will recommend the program. In the perspective of the general public, okay, they are also very keen to recommend this program. All right. So all in all, our program actually remains highly relevant, okay, and actually is still in demand. Okay, some of the key data supports ongoing curriculum enhancement in like practical hands-on training, bioinformatics, industry exposure, professional regulatory skills, which in fact is already embedded in our curriculum, and we have been continuing to improve it further, right? Then maybe last but not least, okay, I would also like to talk about just highlight some minimum entry requirements of this program. So basically, this information can be obtained online. Okay, you just need to Google like minimum entry requirements, then you will be able to access to a file where it will shows you the entry requirements for our program. Basically, the CGPA should be at least 2.0. Okay, then you will be eligible, okay, to meet the requirement for this biotech program. And here is the next slide, which shows you the English requirement. Okay, yeah, right. So next slide here, okay, should be my last slide. Okay, I just want to do a final highlights, okay, on why we should study medical biotechnology at IMU. So basically, our program, we emphasize a lot on hands-on practical training. Okay, we kept it at like 4 students per group. Okay, this is also in compliance with the MBOT regulations, and also we introduce a lot of like real-world lab techniques like PCR, which means like DNA amplification, ELISA, okay, to check for the presence of certain target proteins or antigens, cell culture techniques on like animal tissue cell culture or plant cells, okay. We also ensure that we have graduates with industry-ready skill sets. This range from not only the research or lab skills, but as well as their scientific writing and communication, the regulatory knowledge, okay, as you see earlier, I mentioned that one of the work scope of our graduates will be in the regulatory affairs sector, right? Then, of course, not forgetting data analysis and innovation and problem solving mindset, right? So I have also highlighted our GTP, okay? And just to let you know that our program since 2025 and also this year, we actually won the 6 stars, okay? Survey from the talent band, which means that our graduates is actually preferred, okay, employer preferred graduates, and there's also kind of giving everyone's the security lah, the assurance that our graduates are of high quality lah. Okay, so not forgetting that this program is also recognized and accredited, right? Yeah. So I think that's all from me, and thank you so much for your time to listen. All right. So, but just a gentle reminder again, if you have any questions, please post it to the Q&A panel. So we will address them after all the presentations. Okay. So without further ado, now I would like to actually invite Dr. Adam to share his journey in medical biotechnology in IMU, okay, with his talk entitled From Curiosity to Career, right? So Dr. Adam, he is an alumnus of the Medical Biotechnology program at international, in IMU, okay, from the 2009 cohort. So after obtaining his PhD from University of Malaya, he joined IMU as a faculty member in 2023. He teaches structural biology, bioinformatics, and data analytics. So Dr. Adams' research focus on the discovery of antiviral agents from natural products, with particular emphasis on studying viral protein ligand interactions using structural bioinformatics approaches. His work integrates computational methods such as molecular modeling, molecular docking, and protein structure analysis to identify potential antiviral targets and mechanisms of inhibition. In addition, he is also exploring the application of AI and machine learning techniques to analyze biological and biomedical data for predicting treatment outcomes and supporting early disease detection. Okay, so yeah, Dr. Adam, yeah, I would like to pass to you your talk, right? Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Dr. Yenny, for introduction. So yeah, good evening, everyone. It's me, Dr. Adam. Okay. Yeah, just a quick intro about myself again. Yes, I'm now as working as a lecturer here in IMU in the School of Health Sciences in this medical biotech program. And actually, I would say, if I remember correctly, 16 or 17 years ago, that's when I actually joined IMU as well. But that time was as a student. Okay, as a student who actually joined this program in this medical biotechnology. So I guess for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm just going to share about how do I actually feel about joining this program, okay, during the early years, again, and how this program actually helped me in terms of what I'm doing right now today. But I will say this, even though I'm right now working as an academician, as a lecturer, but I think my sharing here can be actually be applied to any one of you out there. If let's say you are not working in the research field, you plan to work in the biotech industries, I guess some sharings here based on my experience can actually help you a little bit as well, if you were to decide to join this program or not in future. Okay, so yes, as what mentioned by Dr. Yenny earlier, if you have any questions, okay, feel free to drop the questions in the chat box provided there. Okay, all right. So I hope whatever I'm sharing can be beneficial for you. Okay, all right. So let me begin. Okay, so yeah, back to where I actually started. I think just shortly, I mean like I think half year after I finished my secondary schools, at that point I think I wasn't really sure yet, okay, like what am I going to be in future? I think a lot of you probably in the early days will be like, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor. I think I myself that time was still a bit clueless. So I actually spent quite some time going through different education fairs and open days just to find out what could be a program or course that really suit me actually. When I see the word biotech, what I feel in the first place is that it is something very high tech, very advanced. So I wasn't really sure what it is really about at the first place. And all I know is that out of all the science subjects and the maths, I know that I like biologies. And while I do like memorization, okay, I also feel like as me for future, at least for future, it will be better if you can explore something beyond their memorizations, like um, understanding concepts and be able to apply something to discover something more. So when I come into this program, I walk into this IMU booth when I saw it's not just biotech, it's actually medical biotech. If you guys are aware, you know that some places they offer a general biotech, which covers a very huge scope, huge areas from marine biotech, plant biotech, industrial biotech. It's very huge actually. But here in IMU, they actually focus on healthcare and medicine. And that's where medical biotech actually come. I mean, like it came to me and I was like, okay, so let's try this and let's see where it actually takes. Yeah. So that picture on the left is actually how IMU the building looks like. I would say it's not so much different from what we had right now, but of course, currently they are undergoing renovation, so it will be a much more newer. And if you are free, feel free to come and visit us in this IMU very soon. You will actually see actually a new look of our building actually. So that's actually how I actually began. Okay, not much of thinking actually. When I saw biotech and it's very specific on medical, that's when I thought, let's give it a try. Okay. Yeah. So going through this program, as you have seen from the sharing by Dr. Yenny earlier, you know that it is either a 3 years or 4-year program, whether you are doing it in local or maybe you are transferring the credit to overseas. So what do I learn about this program after going through this is that let's say from a medical point of view, okay, it's not just about understanding what's virus. Okay, I believe that these things you have actually know it very well before you even entered the foundations, or maybe before you even want to start your tertiary educations. But I think in this program, it at least brings you to something deeper a little bit. Yes, you know what's a virus, but how they look like? Okay, what is the mechanisms? How do they actually attach to the whole cell? How do they actually cause the mechanisms, the process? Okay, because through the understanding of all these things, you have a better idea about how does a vaccine design usually works? How does an antibiotic or antibody design usually works? Okay, without the understanding of these, you won't be able to have that idea about how this whole process actually works. Okay, so yeah, you actually go deeper a little bit more. And if let's say you do not know what's virus, it's okay. Even proteins. I think in early days when you learn about proteins, it's all about amino acids, okay, some very simple biology contents. But in medical biotechnology, you look something deeper, the insights inside the protein. What is behind those sequence? Okay, in DNAs, you have the AGCT sequence. In proteins, you have the amino acid sequence. Those are just letters, right? But there are actually lots of meanings behind these letters, actually. Okay, and how these letters can actually relate to a structure, and how this structure can relate to a function. So biotech at least bring you through this process. You understand what are the tools available. They can actually help you to analyze and study these proteins better. It's no longer just about shape, but it's actually more and more details behind these biological molecules actually. Okay, so I'm just bringing these examples because this is what actually struck the most, okay, to me the most throughout the 3 years in this program. And of course, as I said earlier, a lot of students, even in myself, when I was at that age, 17, 18 years old, we have all been very used to about memorizing things. But I think in biotechnology, it will actually motivates you to think a little bit more. You have already learned about definitions, you understand the process, but what will be the application side? Like, I'm sure you heard about some disease, yeah, they have a certain cure. But after some time, they are not curable anymore. The drug is no longer effective. So what's the reason behind it? Okay, some of the important things related to all these situations, like does mutation actually happens? What we can do to prevent this disease earlier? Okay, talk about early detections of diseases. You get to know about all these conditions earlier. Okay, as we all said, prevention is better than treatment. So that's when biotech actually prepares also, because you actually learn this in advance. You do not want to wait things happen until the last minute, only we go and find out what could be the solution. So I guess in general, medical biotech is actually prepare you in a slightly more advanced manner, so you can see things in a different perspective other than just design a medication and see what's the results. You actually go through the process from behind the scenes to see what is actually happening. Okay, so I hope my sharing is okay so far. Yeah, I'm not going too deep. Okay, so that's actually what, in my mind, if let's say people ask me, how do you define medical biotech from a medical perspective, that's how I actually will answer them actually. So yeah, so what I actually gain from them until I can become, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a very good person right now, but what I've actually learned from this program, I would say there are 3 stages. Okay, because biotech, in order to prepare ourselves to be ready in the industrial levels, or to make sure you're aligned with the current trends, the current technologies in the world, we start with the foundations. Okay, you will notice that in the program structure that is shared by Dr. Yanni earlier, you will see a lot of modules which actually help you to build the foundations better. Like for example, statistics, molecular biology, or even medical microbiology, subjects that help you to actually understand how this molecule works and understand epidemiologies, how disease happen. And most importantly, you are not just trained to think in in a qualitative way, yes, no, true and false, but you think in a more sensible manner, a quantitative way. That's why I mentioned about statistics actually. So things like this is actually very crucial as we come into the later stage of our study, and of course prepare you for future research or whenever you are going out, communicate with the industry people, sharing your scientific knowledge actually. So I would say the first stage is usually about building your foundations better. If you feel like you do not have a strong foundations yet before you come into IMU, don't have to worry actually, because you have this subject to actually help you to revisit and even actually make you better. Okay, so for those who are ready, that if you cannot cope with all the modules, the topics, I guess with, I mean like, not I guess, with the guidance, the support that we have here, actually, I would say you don't have to worry lah. Okay, so that was stage 1. Stage 2, once you have a very good basics, then that's when you start to be exposed with a lot of different wet lab skills and some tools that can help you to answer some problems related in this field as well. Okay, subjects like, let's say, cell and tissue culture. Okay, what are the aseptic techniques? What are some key steps that you need to know before you can actually perform a good culturing? Okay, and then talk about bioinformatics as well. Okay, I'm sure some of you here may have actually have heard about NGS before, next generation sequencing. Okay, Illumina's talk about a little bit of machine learning, AIs. At least this program is actually preparing you to be able to like you would know about all these latest things. So even if your employers ask you about this current trend, you won't be like a stranger to that term. At least you got to know what are they actually already before you even start the employment. Okay, many other things, analytical chemistries, structural biologies, okay, all these different modules in stage two that allows you to learn how to work in an appropriate way in the lab. And of course, how do you use the right tools to analyze your data and even understand the use of bioinformatic tools as well. Okay, if any one of you have a chance to search online, you know that there are so many omics tools available right now. Tools that allows you to analyze sequence, analyze protein structures, even do some machine learnings actually. Okay, when I speak of machine learning, don't think about um, I mean, don't feel pressure like I need to have a very good coding skills. It's actually not it's not actually a coding to begin with. It's about understanding how the code works, and then you can always modify based on what you want actually. I will share a little bit more, okay, later on as I go through my experience again with you later. Okay, that's stage two. You equip yourself with the skills and the tools that that you should know as a biotechnologist. Okay. And once you have the skills ready, the tools that you know, and then the foundations very well, that's when you will, if you are someone who actually wasn't sure about where you want to hit, which direction you want to go to yet, after going through stage one and two, you'll come into stage three, where you will actually slowly try, you will find out that you are slowly moving towards a certain area of your interest, okay, whether it's a subject of your interest or maybe your own research interest. Talking about research methodology, research projects, internships. Okay, that's when you will have a specific topic assigned to you, and then you actually do a research and then get the findings based on the research that you perform. So this process actually allow you to actually know yourself better, and you have a better idea about which area you want to go to actually. At least that's how I felt when I'm actually going through these stages. Okay, I also highlighted a few. You can see there's a few asterisks over there, right? Molecular medicine, omics technology, data analytics. I'll be honest with you, I did not have these modules back in my time in 2009, 2010, because at that time, no one is talking about transcriptomics. No one is talking about metabolomics. We never talk about AI that much that time. So now that as I come back as a lecturer, looking through the program structures is quite I mean like I feel actually very happy to see that this program is actually preparing the students to make sure they're aligned with what the industry actually needs right now. So that when students graduate out there, they are not strange to these new technologies or new advance. Okay. So yeah, this stage actually you can choose your electives, do your own research projects, and as you come to internship, you know exactly how the biotech industry looks like because you have the internship 6 month experience. So you apply all the things you have learned in stage one, stage two into stage three. So after going through the three stages, you should have at least a little bit of idea. What should I do next? Okay, so this is something that I can share based on what I know lah, after I go through all the 3 years here. So next one, this is something that a lot of people actually ask me, whether as a student in the past or maybe as a lecturer right now. Like someone who actually did medical biotechnology, where do they head to after this? Okay, they're actually is actually a diverse pathway. Okay, I myself, of course, I still continue in this field in the research and academia. Okay, but again, for those who are actually not in this, who are not maybe not into in this institution environment, they do not want to do teaching, they want to proceed to industrial, okay, to find a different environment, whether as a work as an R&D scientist or maybe to work as a salesperson. There's actually a more pathway actually for you to choose. In fact, actually majority of my batchmates and my seniors, or I would say even juniors as well, a lot of them were actually able to find their own jobs, okay, their dream jobs in many industries, not just local, even in overseas as well. Okay, I can actually even share with you one of my seniors. It's not in my slide, but I just want to share with you all. He's actually my senior from the pioneer batch, which means the first batch of medical biotech in 2008. So actually not long after he graduated, he actually worked as a medical salesperson, where he actually bring medical sales device, actually travel around the world and engage with different hospitals, surgeons, and then introduce the medical devices. Actually right now, he's doing actually very well, and he's actually collaborating with MOH to actually be involved in many actually surgical procedures. So you can see that biotech graduates can bring you anywhere, whether you like to be in institution, in a research place, or you like to work in industries. It all depends on where you want, okay, and where is actually your interest, I would say. Okay, of course, in the near future, or maybe not the near future, even right now, we actually see a lot of biotech companies. They're actually looking for, in the first place, they call data scientists, in which they look for graduates from the IT program. But now they know that many biotech programs are actually teaching the students data science, machine learning. They are actually looking for graduates, employees from this area as well. So medical biotech actually prepare the students for all these different subjects related to AIs or machine learnings. Okay, so yeah, so for myself, if let's say you are just like me, you like to do research, you are interested in teaching, mentoring students. Yeah, this is basically some of the careers, okay, as a lecturer, okay, as a researcher, or maybe as a PI, okay, a principal investigator. You actually get to propose your own research and then secure your own research funds and be very flexible in actually conducting your own research actually. Okay, so why do I actually choose this path is because yes, I get to continuously do the research on my interest. So the impact on the science field and potentially in future the healthcare is always continuous. It's something very long term. And as I said, you have your own freedom. Okay, you have the independence to actually design the project that you want actually. Okay, you own the intellectual data of yourself. And most importantly, of course, since I've been through this program as a student myself, I learned a lot from IMU. So I thought, since I have the chance to come back, it's a good, how do I pronounce this? It's a good way for me to give back to teach the students and mentor the students. And yeah, as I grow with them, I teach them also lah. So this is just some of the some simple reasons of why do I actually choose this path actually. Okay, so but please don't take me wrongly. As a lecturer, we don't mean that you always stay in the school, right? We also go out of the school as well. As you can see from my pictures here, when once we have done a research, we also present our works in conference, whether national or international. Okay, you present your findings, engage with researchers from different areas, and you also get to engage with students from different schools. Okay, so that they understand what exactly biotech is about. Let them have the awareness about what biotechnology does actually. And most importantly, you will get to still communicate with researchers from other institutions. It's never just a one-man show, you on your own. You still go out there and engage with different people around the world. So at least in this field, I get to experience all these things. Even right now, I don't consider myself as like a perfect academician because I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And why I'm still growing is because all the opportunities that I have here actually. Okay. So, but if you do not want to stay in this path, okay, like I said earlier, you can always move to biotech industries, work in pharmaceutical companies or any biotech companies that Dr. Yanni showed earlier from our GDPs, stem cell research companies, and many others actually. Okay, whether you want to be a scientist in the R&D department, you want to be a specialist in regulatory affairs, QCs of products or equipments, or maybe an engineer in any process development, someone who develops pipelines for any processes. Okay, these are all something that you can actually have a career in the biotech industries actually. For those who are actually into computer things, okay, not necessarily programming, okay, you actually have the chance to actually proceed to work as a bioinformatics scientist. Okay, talk about bioinformaticians, okay, doing performing all the data analytics on sequencing data, transcriptomic data, a lot of things. Okay, analyze healthcare data, or even you design your own machine learning model to make predictions that can help the healthcare personnel to make a better decisions in future, okay, in their own world. Okay, so yeah, this is basically the three paths that I know that I would say is definitely something that is very popular right now, and do expect more and more unexpected pathways to appear, because as you can see, biotech, this field is actually evolving. It's very broad, so don't be surprised if you actually see more and more job opportunities out there. Okay, it's already a lot right now, but there'll be more in future actually. Okay, so yeah, back to my own story here. Okay, what am I doing right now in IMU University? So, as you have heard from the introduction earlier, the main subject I thought here is structural biology, lah. Okay, bioinformatics. Okay, and then some data analytics as well. Okay, I'm sure some of you have heard about Python, R. Okay, some important language or packages that can help in terms of analyzing our research data, even help in machine learning, okay, a bit of AI as well, okay, and some algorithms and data structures, okay, some language that biotech graduate can know in order to improve their CV, of course, but of course something that can be useful, okay, especially if you are working in a bioinformatics area, okay. So that's basically the subject that I thought that I'm currently teaching right now in IMU. Other than teaching, as I said, we also do research. Okay, what kind of research I'm doing? I'm trying to actually incorporate or integrate both the dry lab techniques and the wet lab techniques together to actually discover any of the novel antiviral compounds that can be retrieved from the natural sources. Okay, just for your interest, I'm actually working with linzi mushrooms. Okay, so if anyone has any questions or some how do I say this? If you have any questions related about these medicinal mushrooms, feel free to ask me as well, lah. Okay, and of course, at the same time, we all talk about AIs, machine learning, right? So since this is the new thing right now in this biotech world, so I thought if we can integrate these new technologies, okay, these new technologies in my research, that will actually make how do I say, it will make this my research or my project to be something at least more novel. So yeah, this is something that I've done in the past and what I know right now. So I just combine together just to see what I can do for the future lah, at least. Okay. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing in IMU. Not just teaching, we're doing research at the same time. Okay. Yeah, so I think before I end the session, I'm just gonna show you a few slides, which is basically some of the FAQs, frequently asked questions from either the parents or the students. For those who are interested to do biotechnology, but they have a few concerns, right? So just some very simple questions here. Like I'm always asked about, is it actually hard to study medical biotech? Okay, first, I will never say that biotech is easy. Okay, or maybe I will say this. I won't say that there's anything in the world is always come as easy as what you would think. It is normal to feel challenged, okay? But if you know that biology is something that you really like, even if the problem comes to you, okay, there's a problem that you try to solve, you'll find it actually enjoyable as you go into the troubleshooting. Okay, you will learn about these feelings, this process as you doing your own studies and doing your own projects. You'll find the process actually quite rewarding. Okay, it's normal to feel that it's tough, but as you go through the troubleshooting process, it is actually quite good. And as I said, it is actually a manageable process because for what I remember in IMU in the past, even right now, they have this mentor-mentee system. They have the buddy systems. So if you are lost in the process, you have the mentors to guide you. What do you do next? They give you suggestions. They give you counseling. You have seniors to tell you what to expect, what to be prepared. So even if you feel tough in the process, there's always someone to actually accompany you. So I think it's something that you do not have to worry, okay, about studying this program in IMU. Okay, next question. Okay, this is the question that I've actually heard about actually since the time when I was as a student. So a lot of people, they have the perception thinking that those who do biotech degree, they will struggle to find jobs. And or at least most of them end up as a salesperson and you don't earn a lot as a salesperson. Okay, I will say this, the job scope is never really, it was never limited to a salesperson actually. And most importantly, this field has evolved a lot from my time until right now. And being a salesperson is only just one of the path. Okay. And I would say the perception about being a salesperson is bad is actually not true. Because at the end of the day, it's about how you actually take this job, how do you actually sell yourself and make yourself better actually. So if you are not into sales, there are actually plenty of actually opportunities out there. It's actually up to you. How do you actually search for it? And how do you actually just promote yourself when it comes to interviews? Okay, remember, it's not just about your CGPAs, your academic transcripts. What I notice is that many companies, they look for your experience, your skills, especially communications as well. So even if your results are just moderate, second class uppers, okay, if they see your potentials in how you communicate with them, okay, the way you present your data, and then attitudes, and then the skills, experience, okay, job employment shouldn't be a concern for you, okay, and next question, I would say there's no definite answer. What's the basic salary for a fresh graduate? Okay, as I've shown you in that slide, there's no fixed standard. Okay, I would say this. Like I said earlier, they would like to look at your experience. They want to know your skills. If you're able to contribute and perform, pretty sure you'll be very happy with what you actually get. Okay, that's all I can say. I won't be able to give you a number, but just know that if you have lots of skills with you and you perform well, I'm pretty sure over time it's actually it's a good, how do I say it? You have a good career and you feel good actually. That's all I can share about. All right. And I think one more question. Okay, do I need coding? Okay, I mentioned many times about AI's machine learning, right? So does that mean that I need to memorize the code, Python's, R, HTMLs, or maybe SQL? Okay, for me, it's not about memorizations. Even I myself right now, I don't memorize all the codes. It's all about understanding and understand the codes and know how to use them to solve the problems. So in this problem, it prepares you for the next step. You are introduced to the different tools, know what they how they what are the methods available, okay, how they exist in the first place, and you apply them in some real world problems. So when you go out there, if any employers ask you, have you heard about R programming? Do you know how to use Python to solve this biological data? At least you know, you show your experience. We don't want to see how you actually be able to memorize a long scripts, but it's how you actually use them and actually interpret the data. I would say this is the most important part. So don't worry about your computer skills because it's more about understanding and application. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so just to conclude, my journey in MB, just a summary, okay? Just know that I think most of you will be same as mine. I do not have everything figured out in the very beginning. Did I actually imagine myself to be a lecturer in the first place? No. Okay, that's why I say this field is always changing. When you get to know yourself better, at the end, you will see that you are actually working in certain field that you did not expect in the first place. Okay, and the foundations that I've learned here in IMU actually did help in shaping me on where I am today. At least I know who I am better and what is my research interest, all these things. Okay, and just be ready to explore different areas. Okay, this is a very broad field in biotech, so just be ready to discover new interests. Don't be afraid of challenges. Okay, and remember, skills matter more compared to memorizing contents or theories. Okay, understanding and the showcase of a hands-on is more important than that. Okay, and last and most important thing is medical biotech gives us more opportunities right now compared to before. So as long as you can grab the opportunity, you show experience, you show your skills, I would say you are guaranteed employment. I'm pretty sure that if you can grab these things, the chances well, you'll be very fine actually. Okay, so yes, just one more slide. Allow me to do this. I've been talking about my stories about in the beginning of my career, also in the beginning of my journey as a student until right now. If you are still confused about what exactly is medical biotech, how does it look like before and after? Okay, so you can actually scan the QR code as shown in the pictures right now. In June 16, okay, if you are interested, feel free to visit us at IMU in the new campus, in the Technology Park campus, okay, at the TPM there. That's where you will actually get to see a better chronology about the differences from the past until right now, the ancient times, the current technology, and what to expect in the future. Okay, the story will actually guide you through what you learn, what to expect in actually this program as well. Okay, if you're interested, you can contact your own school teachers, biology teachers, show them these posters. You can actually come as a group to join us in this MB Day event. Okay, there are also competitions available where you can do presentations and win amazing prizes as a group lah. You can see the cash prizes over there. Okay, for more information, just scan the QR codes and feel free to ask us questions for more details, or even check us through in Instagram or maybe social media pages. Okay, I think that's all. I've been taking too much time, so if you have more questions, just ask us in the question box. For those students out there, I wish you all the best in your future. Okay, I hope to see you in IMU as well. Okay, thank you so much. I'll pass it back to Dr. Yanni.
Thank you so much, Adam, for the wonderful sharing, and also the advices actually. Yeah. So basically, you already helped to elevate the breadth and the value of the program. Okay. So maybe just one quick questions from me. Was there
Yeah.
anything about working in a biotech field that surprised you after graduation?
Oh, working in this field. Okay. I'll just talk in the perspective as academician. Since shortly after I graduated from my high school, I just went straight to university. I mean, after university, I went straight to my postgrad as well. So, the surprising part, I would say, okay, I will just mention one example. Just 2-3 months before our convocation, before I complete this program, I had the opportunity to actually go to Chiang Mai, Thailand, to present my research findings in a conference. So at that time, actually, I thought my research is something very new. But as soon as I arrived there, I see actually the students, even secondary schools, the project that they are doing is actually way advanced compared to us. Like I myself, I'm doing just a simple protein modeling, but they're actually way more than that. They have their products, and they can turn it into, they actually translate their research findings into something more advanced actually. So seeing them are so way ahead, that's when I was like, okay, if they can do it, why not I can do the same thing also. So yeah, so basically what surprised me is that biotech is actually is a lot of things for us to still, to a lot of things yet to be discovered. So I thought, yeah, I just have to move together with the direction. As biotech evolves, I evolve also. So that's why, since it surprised me, so I thought I just continue my postgrad, working in the same field in the bioinformatics. So yeah, the surprising element here is basically, biotech is actually, it's not a fixed pathway. It is always changing, and you just have to keep on exploring. Even right now, it still continue to surprise me. Looking at the AI, machine learning is always changing. So to all the young scientists out there, be prepared for more and more things out there. If you're a curious person, yes, just come and join us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Adam. Yeah, actually, we do have some questions, okay, at the Q&A panel. So yeah, the first one, what is medicinal mushrooms? I believe both of us can answer this. So
Okay.
yeah, so basically, just to answer, okay, to our attendee here, basically, medicinal mushrooms, besides it's for consumption, they also have a bit of like bioactivity or therapeutic properties, like anti-cancer, antioxidant, immunomodulation, and things like that. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, sure. For me, medicinal mushrooms, yeah, people start to find out that there are actually lots of, like say from their extracts, there are actually a lot of the benefits. In the early days, people think that it's only just about dietary supplements, but after because of the advance in technology, we actually found out they're actually, how do I say, they're actually more than just dietary supplements. They can be used for treating, like what you mentioned, different kinds of diseases, whether it's for immune modulations, for cancers. Like I myself right now, I'm working on antiviral properties. So any mushroom with all this potential, yeah, we call it actually medicinal mushrooms. Yeah, I hope we answered your question. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Then the next questions, The attendee would like to know what are the available pathways for an SPM students to pursue studies in medical bio. Basically, I can help to answer this. So upon SPM, basically you can either take up a foundation in science in IMU, or either you can also take up any other pre-U program, okay, that will allows you to after that pursue a degree in medical biotechnology. So as I mentioned, you can actually check out the minimum entry requirement of our program, okay. Yeah, just do a Google search, then it's all available, okay. We also accept any other pre-U programs like OSMAT, A levels, and etc. Right? Hope we answer your program. Hope we answer your questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. Okay. While waiting, okay, for more questions, basically, I believe we have one very often received questions, okay, from the floor, like, what is the difference between biotech and biomedical science, right?
Mm.
So, Adam, do you have any mm, like comments on this? Like, what is the difference between these two programs, basically, as a
Okay.
trained biotechnologist? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll start with biomedical science. From what I can understand about the difference between these two is that if any one of you had a chance to look at their program structures about what a biomedical scientist or students can learn, you'll find that they're actually the focus is quite heavy on human systems, human organ systems. They they learn about how body functions and why body feels. It's more about diagnostics. So they learn about a lot of clinical skills behind all these things. It's quite human anatomy with centered, like I would say. So compared to medical biotech, I would say we are less on clinical part, but we actually learn skills so that we are prepared for any industry applications. Let's say talk about you want to design new products, or maybe you want to have a new technology that can help to address some of the current health issues, health problems. Talk about designing new vaccine, or maybe designing new drugs, or maybe something talk about genetic engineering. Okay, all about new products, new technologies based on the knowledge that your skills that you have, and the instruments that you can apply. This is more towards medical biotech, a more research based behind the scenes thing compared to biomedical science. And that's how I define it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like just to like put it simply, biomed could be
Mhm.
the study of the disease. Meanwhile, biotech works like how to solve the problems using
Mhm.
biology. Lah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
as I just echo again on like the differences between these two would be like when it comes to biomed, basically it's like think about the blood tests, disease mechanisms, hospital labs, right? Meanwhile,
Mhm.
biotech, I agree with you, is like more research oriented. Okay,
Mhm.
we think about like vaccines, stem cells, genetic engineering, and of course like the lab grown meat. Yeah. So these are the stark differences between these two programs. And of course, students will be should expect to learn like very different types of curriculum now when it comes to the program structure and the module. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, so I think we don't have any more questions from the floor. Yeah, so I would like to take this opportunity to thank our attendees. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to write back to us. Okay, we can also answer your queries later on. Okay, so before we end this session, I would like to wish everyone a very good evening. Have a good rest. Okay, and thank you so much. Thank you so much to Dr.
Thank
Adam,
you.
as well as
Welcome.
myself, who has been on standby. Okay, thank you so
Okay. Thank
much.
you, everyone. Okay.